Overcome worry. Drive until you flow. Freely use and overcome worry.
Good evening, everyone. Timothy Moore here with the Male Perspective. Hope everybody is doing great. This is the show where we talk about sex, entrepreneurship, and spirituality from the male perspective. So we're going to have a conversation tonight. We're going to be talking about success and goal setting as a man, men with vision, men with goals, men who are driven, men who are trying to get to that next level. And just what the challenges are that are out there from a male perspective, and what can be done to overcome those challenges, to overcome that mindset that a lot of times, especially African American men have, that success is unobtainable. It's something that you cannot reach. So tonight I have my wonderful co-host on tonight. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
Hey everyone, I'm Lee Mooring. My company is All About One. We specialize in leadership coaching. We're out of Stafford, Virginia, and it's nice to be here tonight. Thanks for the invite. Appreciate it.
Man, appreciate having you on. It's always good to have a good convo with my guy. So how's the now where are you at again? I forgot.
I'm out of Stafford, Virginia. It's just a little bit south of the DC area. So if you're in the DC area, you can look me up. We're about 25, 30 minutes away.
Okay, gotcha. So what's the weather like right about now?
You know what? It's not too bad. It's kind of clear. You know what? Wait a second. Hold on. What am I saying? It's rainy today.
Yeah,
rainy. Right now the temperature is 36, so a little bit chilly, but
okay.
It'll be a whole lot worse. At least there's not snow on the ground.
Whew. So y'all not gonna have a white Christmas?
We'll see what happens.
See what happens.
How about you over there?
Man, I know you already know. It's cold, it's snowy, but I do actually like the change of season. So all you do is I just say, put your hat and gloves on and bundle up and you good.
That's true. I like that.
Yep, that's it. So jumping in, so you just finished your military career.
Yes, that's correct.
How did that feel? So talk to me. So you retired.
Yes, so I retired as of 1 December after 26, I won't say long years, but I'll say 26 good years of military service. I did 8 in the Marine Corps and then the rest over in the Air Force. And, it was kind of bittersweet. I hated to go just because after 26 years, it's kind of a lifestyle. But, on the other hand, I knew that, I ultimately, since we're talking about success, I ultimately reached all of my goals in the military and actually surpassed them. I came in with the intention to stay 20 years, and I just found that I like the lifestyle and knowing the process of how to continue to get promoted and make myself have success. It was just I reached, like I said, I reached all my goals. I surpassed, the rank that I wanted. My initial goal was 20 years. I did 26, so happy. Now just this new season, just taking pretty much the things that I learned in the military, now just applying them to the civilian sector.
Right. Man, so in a lot of people's eyes, you are successful. When you look at what you've done and where you at, do you feel successful?
I think I do. I do in a sense where I'm able to mentor people, where I'm able to reach out, and when I'm able to share. I mean, for me, it's just kind of doing my job that I basically, been trained to do and, blessed to have a job. But I think, overall, I would say I'm pretty successful. I've got to the rank of a senior master sergeant in the Air Force. That's not the easiest thing to do. So I would say I've had a great deal of success, and just being able to share that with others, some of the keys that got me through. I think that makes me feel more successful when I'm able to mentor people and ultimately see those people that I mentor, for them to have a greater level of success than I do. So when they get promoted to higher ranks, or they get promoted even faster, or they win awards that I haven't awards, to me, that's successful.
Mm-hmm. So I know you and we've talked about some of the challenges along the way in the military, and how did you even fight through that? Because so many people just, I was in the National Guard and I did 5 years, and then I got out because I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I mean, I went through basic, I did AIT, and I was like, this is not for me. I have to be in control of my life, and still wasn't in control of my life. But
right.
and but knowing just all the different things that you have to overcome to even make rank, how did you fight through and achieve those different levels of success? What are the keys? What did you do?
I would say, what's that saying? God looks out for fools and babies. So I would say in the beginning that, even before I gave my life to Christ, that God was looking out for me. He ultimately had a plan to get me to a certain point. And so I believe that he was just watching out for a fool in the beginning. I think that it was, as far as the system was concerned, it was about learning what the process was, learning what I had to do. Just like when you go to college, you get a syllabus. Syllabus basically plans out your semester, exactly what you need, which assignments are due, when they're due. So military for me was kind of the same thing, where it laid out what I had to do to accomplish each goal, to pick up each rank. And then it's just having mentors along the way that helped me through the process.
Mm.
So, even when there were tough times, it's just a matter of thinking of the bigger picture. And, until I got 20 years, I couldn't retire. So I knew in the back of my mind that, I think my driving force was my dad. My dad didn't have very good education, but he worked hard, and all he knew about the military is if you go for 20 years, you get a retirement. And so with that driving me, it kept pushing me to stay in, even longer. So, overcoming the obstacles, just looking back at, what would have been available had I stayed at home.
Yeah.
So that's one thing, there wouldn't have been much there at home. Initially I came in because college wasn't really an option. Later in the military, I was able to get my degree, but just learning the system and knowing what I had to do to cross the T's and dot the I's.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned a mentor. I know, like, just my time in IT over the years, just in the civilian world, it was really hard, even now, hard to find a mentor. And I know they talked about that a lot in the military, finding, a sergeant, somebody who can kind of lead the way, navigate the whole system for you. Even in college, just finding a mentor as you're a freshman coming in. But I never found that mentor in IT or in the civilian world. It was pretty much hard knocks, struggle, figure out corporate America, navigate through all, the glass ceiling, navigate through, microaggressions and hostilities, and just, had to do it alone. And every now and then you might meet someone who kind of deposited a few things, but it was just, hard work that I've been able to, be as successful as I've been in IT, programming for 15 plus years. And So I've always wanted a mentor. So how did you find a mentor in the military? What was that? What did that look like?
You know, it's interesting in the when I was in the Marine Corps, the mentors, kind of just the people that I worked with on the same shift that just had just wanted to take care of me, make sure that I didn't go down the wrong path. Once I got in the Air Force, it was hard to change that Marine Corps mentality over to the Air Force, which is more like a business. So, you know, I had a now he's a pastor, Kenneth Tart, and he just pulled me to the side. He saw me going down the wrong road. I was cussing people out, and I wasn't too nice to folks, and so I was very aggressive. And so he just pulled me to the side and said, "Hey, let me show you some things, because the way you're going, you know, you're gonna go down the wrong path." And so, you know, finding mentors, they kind of, it's interesting because I know you've talked about this before, about the energy that you put out. And so I believe that through my career, I put out those vibes and I had that thought process that I wanted mentors and that I wanted people to gravitate towards me. And so pretty much each step along the way, I've had individuals that when we met, it was just kind of like that vibe, just like for me and you, when we met, it was just kind of that vibe. So it just happened that they were in, you know, a higher rank than I, or a bigger position. And so we just made that bond, and I just started picking their brain.
Right. So would you say that?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. So mentorship, would you say, you know, if you were to talk to men out there who may watch this, you know, live at some point, would you say that mentorship is, where would you say that falls in terms of success?
I'd say definitely at the top. Not at the very top, because I think that there has to be some self-initiative. And as you can testify to, you also need a vision. And a mentor can help you get there, but ultimately a mentor is not going to give you your vision.
Wow.
So it has to come from within.
Wow.
So once you have that vision and you start to look at, you might not be able to structure your goals, but you still know where you'd like to be. You have some aspiration of where you'd like to be. And so then just getting a mentor that will help you get there. And I think, you know, in the civilian sector, it's kind of, it doesn't seem like mentors are just standing around waiting for somebody to come up to them.
No.
You know, like you had mentioned, I think that, you know, through networking, through, you know, going to church, going to different events, I don't think you can sit home and find a mentor, but you have to be out there searching for one. And if you truly want a mentor, I believe if you pray about it, then God will certainly deliver one to you.
I guess I wasn't praying hard enough, or I didn't want one. I'm telling you, it was crazy. I mean, and I don't know, maybe that was just the journey I had to take, because, you know, when I look back, you know, not having one, it's definitely made me a different kind of person. You know, it's put something in me that maybe I wouldn't have had I had someone there guiding me. And, you know, maybe I'm kind of lazy, and so I needed to get off my butt, and the only way to do that was to just kind of push me out there and say, figure it out. But it was pretty cool though. I mean, I wouldn't trade it in. It is what it is.
But you know what, you said something about that being lazy, and I think that we all have a sense of, we all have a laziness to us. And I think you've heard me say this before, that people do what's inspected rather than expected. And so it's expected that as men, we would go out and get a job. It's expected that we would, you know, have some level of success, that we would be promoted. But if there's no one there inspecting that, or if there's nobody there to hold us accountable. And that's just what a mentor does. They hold you accountable. You sit down with them, you write out your goals, and then you start working on them. And as you meet with your mentor, they're going to tell you, hey, you know what, you're on track. Or, you know what, it's almost like, you know what, I'll go in this direction. So you talk about for yourself not having a mentor and the struggles that you had. But now, as I look at how you keep accountability for the group, that's the mentoring to them, because you keep us all on track and you basically have tasks that we have to do. And that's exactly what a mentor is doing. So, you know, I would recommend if there's anybody out there who's looking for a mentor, for them to get involved, to get linked up with you and the group that you have. The Vision Mastermind group, is that
Right.
Mastermind. Vision Mastermind, right? So that they can have that level of accountability. Because I know I've been lazy on all of my stuff, and just having somebody, just poke and say, hey, where's this at? That's a big difference, because that's the difference between me being in this room right here or me being right next door over there watching TV.
Right.
So I think for men, it has to be, you can't share your vision and your dreams with everyone. However, you need to share it with someone. Someone that you can discuss it with, someone that you can be accountable to, accountability partner. That's what they're there for. But walking this road alone is difficult.
Man.
Very difficult.
Yeah. So what do you think? I mean, was it challenging? Okay. So 26 years in the military. So you were pretty young. You 20 something, whatever, right? 24 or whatever.
I came in when I was just before I turned 21.
Okay. So the guy who approached you, like, you were aggressive, and you kind of told me, you was kind of street, you was kind of, cussing people out. Was it hard for you to receive that instruction? Somebody coming up to you saying, hey, let me pull you to the side, let me help you out. Did you kind of fight and buck at that for a minute?
I really did. Let's go back I wouldn't say that I'm street by no means. I would say that I had, if you know anything about Marines have they're very confident. And so I walked into a situation where I was more confident than everybody in the building. So I thought I was better than everybody in the building. And so when my mentor approached me, it was a situation where I recognized a leader that was stronger than I was. So it wasn't just some little person coming up saying, hey buddy, I think you should. No. Okay. With my personality and where I was then, it was someone that approached me that was very confident, very bold, and a man of God as well. And so he came almost like Christ. He came like a lion and a lamb.
Right.
There was a strength about him, but there was a humbleness too. So he came with the strength that I respected, but he came out of love, which I accepted.
So what do you think it is that even nowadays, there's programs for men, for people out there, self-development, personal growth, and all those different type things. How does that, from your opinion, do you think men are into that in general?
Honestly, what I seem to hear from men is, hey, I got to hustle, or I'm getting my hustle on. But then what I see with women is, and that hustle is usually kind of like by themselves, kind of like the lone wolf thing. But with women, it's more like the women are networking and they're conferencing and they're planning things and they're doing things together. And so I think that the key for men is that, like you said, they have to get out there and they have to get involved. And in one of the other chats we had talked about, it's that you have to start to invest in yourself as well. If it requires you to go to school, then you know what, find a way to go to school. If it's to get to some conferences, there's plenty of motivational conferences out here. There's John Maxwell, there's Tony Robbins, there's what's that other guy, Thomas?
Oh, Eric Thomas.
Yeah, Eric. Yeah. So, there's so many things out there. And then, even if you can't afford those, I'm big still. Go to church. go to church. I mean, you go there, you get a word, there's some application for your life. But you have to, it's about self-improvement. Start reading something, start something that can improve. You should try to learn something new today that you can apply to your life. Each and every day, learn something new and you will get to where you want to be. But it all starts with that first step, and stop making excuses. And if you take a step today and a step tomorrow, and then you don't take a step the next day, well, the next day, take another step.
Right. And it's interesting you said that. I forgot what I was listening to, but it was just saying how after our degree, whether it's high school, college, or whatever, it seems like learning stops. It's like we don't understand that learning is really just beginning, and that there's other levels and other things to learn. But you think, okay, I got my degree and now I pretty much know everything that there is to know about life. Right. And now it's just go to work. And now it's just more application, or, gaining some book knowledge about your given path or career. But I mean, personal development and growing mentally in areas, a lot of times we don't even know, it's just unaware, didn't even know it was available. So that's kind of been the biggest thing for me, just learning about the other levels that are out there.
Right. And what's interesting about that is in this day, I mean, when we were kids, only way you're going to learn something if you're not in school is you got to go to the library.
Right.
Now, you see this? Where's my phone? There. We all got a phone.
Right.
And so you have access to so much each and every day. And so just the simplest, just waking up in the morning, have an app on there that you can get some information, get some leadership, get something. There's an app that I have. It's called Blinkist. And what it does is, actually you have to pay for it. I think it's about $100 a year. But in there, what it does is, in about, I want to say maybe a total of maybe 6 pages, it breaks down an entire book.
Oh, man. So
you don't even have to read the whole book. You can just read 6 pages and it can read it to you. So, or some audiobooks or something when you're in the car. Put some audiobooks or something on so that you can, stimulate your mind, because just listening to this music these days that's out there, I can't even believe people just making sounds and noises. What's that stimulating? Nothing. It's stimulating dumbness.
He said sounds and noise, grunts.
Right. Exactly. So when you are, what is that? Several years ago, I read that you get the most inspirational thoughts when you're in the shower and when you're in the car.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so during those times, you should always keep something where you can take some notes. If you're in the car, you can't take notes, but have a voice recorder.
Right.
When those ideas come into your mind, hey, you know what? I have this good idea. Let me click on record and speak it so that I can go back later and take a look at it.
Mm-hmm. Now, have you experienced being afraid of your ideas? Just scared of them?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Yes. There's some things that God has told me to do, and I'm just like, whoa, how am I going to do that? And you know, honestly, there's been some that I'm like, no, I don't think so. But it's funny because it's funny because those things where I have said no, within a matter of 30 to 60 days, I will see it come out some other fashion by somebody else.
Wow. Woo.
Yep.
Man, the thing was transferred. Like, oh, you don't want to do it? Well, somebody else. That's pretty consistent.
Yeah. So now it's like when God tells me to do something, like right now, God told me to do another play. And it's scary. I've done them before. I've done 5 or 6 in the past, but that was with me having a team there. Now I'm in a new location. I think I got maybe a total of 4 friends and 4 friends here. And God's telling me to do a play. And, it's kind of scary, but, I'm one that when God puts something like that in front of me, I'm going to ask for him to be very clear and show me in some way, not like me personally, I'll just say, hey, God, if this is meant to be, then this person in this situation, I was like, God, you need this person to contact me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because after he gave me the vision, the next day, 2 people contacted me. And then I said, you know what, God, nope, I need 1 more to reach out to me. And they just reached out to me out of nowhere.
Wow.
And this is somebody I didn't even, I don't communicate with on a regular basis. They just reached out and said, hey, how are things at church? And I was like, all right, God, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that when we get those big ideas that, you have to start somewhere.
Right.
And those big ideas are given to you for a reason.
So what would you say is the first step in? How do you approach? I know, like you said, you get those some ideas and you say, nah, I'm not doing it. But when you actually decide, all right, this is what I'm going to do, do you have a process or do you just jump?
My process is a little bit different. I believe that this goes down the road with your energy. I believe that I have to start a ball rolling. And sometimes I don't know which direction I'm going, but I know that as I start to get the ball rolling, God will steer it in the right direction. But there has to be movement on my part.
Right.
So there has to be. So I would say for anybody, there has to be some movement. And, like we've talked before, you can't just sit there with these dreams and these ideas in your head and just let them sit there. The first step, start talking about it, speak life into it. Also, write it down. Write it down so you can keep seeing it. Talk about, like we talked about the other day, with goals, or shall I say, remember we talked about reprogramming your subconscious and allow your subconscious to help you address issues. So at night, write your goals down, but read your goals so that before you go to bed, your subconscious can start to process them before you go to bed. So while you're sleeping, your subconscious can be coming up with those answers, believe it or not.
Oh, it works.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah. People are like, oh no, okay, try it. Tonight, anybody who's listening to this tonight, before you go to bed, clear your mind and think about one of your goals and ask yourself a question about that goal.
I'm sorry, but it made me think, remember how we were doing in the mastermind? And I was saying, as you create your vision statement, you put the bullet points, you ask yourself the question, how can I?
Exactly. Right. You ask yourself, how can I? Do that before you go to bed, and your subconscious will think about it all night long. It's almost like It's just like making your money work for you.
It's true. Anyhow, true. It's powerful. It's powerful.
And you'll wake up with some amazing things on your mind, and you'll be like, "Where'd that come from?"
Right.
Do it again the next night. See what happens.
And that's the system. You actually program and utilize the system of laws to actually work for you instead of working against you, which is what a lot of times we've been doing for so many years, kind of been saying things randomly out of our mouth and making these comments, not knowing that we were programming the system to give us that output, good or bad, but we're going to get that output.
Exactly. And you know what? It's good. I'm glad you mentioned that bad as well, because we got to stop that stinking thinking and stop saying, I can't do this. I can't do that. Start saying, I can do this. Let the words that come out of your mouth be positive. Speak life into whatever you want.
Right.
You start speaking life into what you want, and you will start attracting the people that will help you get it.
Right.
Or help you accomplish that. But if you keep saying, I can't do that, well, next thing you know, you're looking around the room and all your friends are saying, I can't, you can't, we can't.
Man.
Instead of I can, we can, let's go do it. I've already done it.
Right. It's power. Power in that network.
Exactly. And you should not want to be the smartest person in the room.
Mm-hmm.
If you're the smartest person in the room, you need to go to another room.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Wow, that's good. All right, well, we are going to wrap this up. Just again, anyone who's catching this live replay, just be about taking action. Take some steps. Get the ball rolling. I love the way Lee said that, and just, you got to overcome inertia. It's a simple law of the universe that an object at rest is going to stay at rest. And an object in motion is going to stay in motion unless acted upon by equal or by a greater or opposite force.
Can I say something to that real quick?
Absolutely.
In other words, a lazy person is going to stay lazy.
That's it. And it's nothing other than just overcoming the natural laws of the universe. It's nothing big, it's nothing spooky, it's nothing, you got to get the ball in motion. And once you get it in motion, momentum is going to take over in whatever direction. And we all have momentum and have had it for years in some direction.
Right.
So just get started on what you're doing.
Right.
Last words, Lee?
Just start with that first step. And I would say anybody listening, if they don't have a mentor, if you're listening to this, just type in a comment. And one of us is going to reach out to you and you'll have a mentor now. And we will help you going in the direction and help you accomplish your goals. And that's a promise.
Love it. Ditto. All right. Appreciate you, sir, for jumping on again. My name is Timothy Moore, owner of Vision Writers USA. I help small businesses, entrepreneurs, startups, and couples create a clear statement of vision and intent so that you can smash your goals every single time. So, again, Lee, introduce yourself again, or outro.
Once again, Lee Mooring from All About One. You can reach me at allaboutone.com. We do leadership training, so give us a call.
All right, sir. Appreciate it. And we out.